It is my honor to introduce to you our community chief, our Chief of Police, Michael Utz.
Good morning and welcome. This year marks the 17th year local law enforcement has held a local memorial service since the events of 9/11. And as I've always said, we shall continue as we will never forget. We gather today to honor the law enforcement officers who have lost their lives in the line of duty. These men and women swore their lives to serve and protect and made the ultimate sacrifice for their communities, their country, and their fellow brothers and sisters on watch. We are also here to honor the men and women who continue to serve in the law enforcement profession. Through the first 19 weeks of 2018, there have been 53 fatalities of law enforcement officers. Of that number, 28 officers have been shot and killed in the line of duty. That averages out to more than one death per week. Some of those I will mention that have given the ultimate sacrifice include Officer Sean Gannon with the Yarmouth, Massachusetts Police Department, who was shot and killed while serving a warrant. The Deputy Michael Utz, the El Paso, Colorado Sheriff's Office, was killed by gunfire while conducting a motor vehicle theft investigation. Two other sheriff's deputies, along with the Colorado Springs police officer and a civilian, were also injured during that gunfire. Sergeant Noel Ramirez and Deputy Taylor Lindsay with the Gilchrist County, Florida Sheriff's Office were at a restaurant eating and were shot and killed by a suspect. These are just some of the senseless tragedies that have left the law enforcement community reeling. It is a grim reminder of the dangers that we face every day, and those who died to leave behind loved ones who will carry the burden of their losses. Last month, off-duty Wichita police officer Stacy Woodson, assigned to the motorcycle unit, was killed by a drunk driver while riding on his personal motorcycle. Stacy's 9-year-old son, Braden, was also killed in the accident. We in the police department here in Garden City have a true connection with the Wichita Motor Unit as we train them to prepare for their future endeavors on their motorcycle. Often the service and sacrifice of our officers are taken for granted. This Memorial Day is for all our officers, all who have died of disease, injury, or job stress, and those who have just faded away like other good soldiers are included in today's recognition. So let us be grateful for their many sacrifices and now celebrate their lives with pride and affection. These fallen heroes we remember today for simply doing their job to uphold the law while making their communities and neighborhoods better places to live and work. But to them, and to all of the officers standing here before me, law enforcement is more than a job. It is a calling and a commitment to serve. We need to remember, as others are running away from danger, our law enforcement runs towards the danger. So let us pray for the entire Blue Line that serves and protects our community. To the families of our officers, thank you for sharing your loved ones with us to serve. To our officers, be safe and thank you for your service and your sacrifice. It is now my privilege to introduce the Sheriff of Finney County, Kevin Bascue. Kevin.
Even as we are sitting here doing this, we see our guys taking off running to major right now. So I don't know if you guys heard, but while we were sitting here, we could hear the alert tag, so we knew something was coming. So 2 times each year, we honor a group of people who go to work each day to protect our country and the people who live in our cities and counties. Those 2 days are Veterans Day and Law Enforcement Memorial Day today. Sometimes while doing their job, they don't come home. Today we remember and honor those law enforcement officers who went to work to protect and keep safe the citizens of their communities, and they didn't make it home. Law enforcement is a noble profession that began when this country was first settled. For several hundred years, men and women from every walk of life with one common goal have joined together as law enforcement officers to protect those from others who would inflict harm upon them. And again, while doing so, some don't make it home. So today we think about and we remember those who went to work and gave their life for their community. We thank them and their families for their service, and we remember them for their sacrifice.
I'd like to read this proclamation at this time. Whereas there are approximately 900,000 law enforcement officers serving in communities across the United States, including the dedicated members of the Garden City Police Department. And whereas nearly 60,000 assaults against law enforcement officers are reported each year, resulting in approximately 16,000 injuries. And whereas since the first recorded death in 1791, almost 20,000 law enforcement officers in the United States have made the ultimate sacrifice and been killed in the line of duty. And whereas the names of these dedicated public servants are engraved on the walls of the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial in Washington, D.C., and whereas May 15th is designated as Peace Officers Memorial Day in honor of all fallen officers and their families, and the U.S. flag should be flown at half-staff. And now, therefore, I, Roy Cessna, Mayor of the City of Garden City, do hereby declare May 13th to the 19th, 2018 as National Police Week, and publicly salute the service of law enforcement officers in our community and in the communities across the nation. We further appreciate the service of our Garden City police officers, Finney County Sheriff deputies and dispatchers, the Finney County EMS, and the Garden City Fire Department, and others who do their part to help our citizens. Thank you for your dedication to our communities. Signed and sealed this first day of May, 2018.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Please stand for the sounding of taps by Darren Bradstreet. At the conclusion of taps, we will observe a moment of silence.